dressed up and playing her tune. And I come home from a hard day's work, and you're waiting there. I can't.
Podcast, and I come down to Spotify. Podcast.
So you want to turn that down.
It's not playing now, right? Come down to Spotify. Podcast.
See the curtains hanging in the window in the evening on a Friday night. Little light is shining through the window, lets me know everything's alright.
Okay.
Summer breeze makes
Some sound wise.
blowing good.
That doesn't sound right.
Go back to the main
So
page.
put that up. So I put this back up.
See the paper laying on the sidewalk, a little music from the house next door. So I walk on up to the doorstep, through the screen and across the floor. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Sweet days of summer, the jasmine's in bloom. July is dressed up and playing her tune. And I come home from a hard day's work, and you're waiting there. I care in the world. See the smile waiting in the kitchen, food cooking on the plates for two. Feel the arms that reach out to hold me in the evening when the day is through. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind.
Well, the south side of Chicago is the baddest part of town. And if you go down there, you better just beware of a man named Leroy Brown. Now, Leroy, morning trouble. You see, he stand about 6'4". Although downtown ladies call him treetop lover, all the men just call him sir. And it's bad, bad, Leroy Brown, the baddest man in the
Okay. Welcome back. This is the Wolf and Klein podcast, season 2, episode 8 of the Wolf and Klein show.
Shit, turn your stuff down.
Welcome back.
Where is it?
What fucking amateurs are
Well, it sounds good at least.
Alright,
Go ahead, sorry.
that's right. Season 2,
This fucking guy.
episode 8. We're discombobulated. But, as you know, we are the elite podcast of the NHL 95 online world. Fact-based, non-repetitive,
You're doing great.
authentic, and genuine. Alright, we're back. We're going to do hopefully have some fun tonight. Drink our whiskey, drink our beer, and talk about the league. Tonight it's just the two of us.
Yeah, nobody joining us.
So, that's alright though. So firstly, we're going to talk about our barn burner
Well,
segment.
make sure you're paying attention to see if anybody's telling us anything.
Yeah.
Alright. Go ahead, you can start it, yeah.
Barn burner segment, which is basically the season 7 shitty bill update and then on to the Broly updates. Getting right into it.
Yeah. Start with the
So-
shitty bill. Start with the
Start
shitty
with
bill.
the shitty bill. Alright.
Yeah,
So,
good stuff.
yeah, let me get in
Yeah.
some of what I wrote up.
I think the biggest thing we want to point out is who hasn't played their fucking games.
Yeah.
So fucking Dan, let's go. We know Dink's ready to drop the puck anytime.
Yeah.
Get on it, Dan. We're all waiting on you.
So over in the Prince of Wales, as Mike's saying, not surprisingly, we continue to wait for Providence.
Yes.
The guy's a piece of work. And even though he is high, I would love for Dink to send his ass.
Wow. Dan. Well, Dan probably doesn't even listen to this, so it doesn't matter.
That being said, that's unlikely. Providence should win handily.
Yes.
But it would be kind of nice for Dink to send Dan back to the ice rink.
Okay, well, if Dink's not going to do that. Love
No.
you, Dink. But it's going to end up being Providence and Sumter.
Yeah. Sumter beat Baytown
Yeah.
in 6 games. So it's looking like the final 4 in the Prince of Wales is Sumter and Providence, and the lower side of the bracket, Sonoma and Sugar Valley.
There's too many high. Go ahead. Look, Sugar Valley, man. And NIU, Sonoma's been off his game all year.
Yeah.
So I would not be surprised if Chris was able to sneak through here with this. I mean, Chris has got a team with some, a lot of talent. He's yet to win a big series. He's yet to win a big fucking game. So I think he could do something right here. He knocks off Newey. Newey danced all over your head before in the shitty bill, right?
A couple years ago, yes.
So I mean, he's not an easy opponent. And Providence is not going to have an easy time with Sumter.
If that kid,
Jimmy Trash or
so
what's it called?
my prediction is that, not surprisingly, it's Sonoma against Providence, and I think Sonoma makes it to his second shitty final.
Okay.
That's my prediction
Okay.
as of today. Any predictions from you?
I mean, I would love to pick Chris, but it's not realistic until he actually shows us that he can do it. I can't pick him, so I'm gonna pick Providence, Sonoma too, and I had Providence in the finals, so I had Providence in the finals on that side.
All right, so yeah, I'm going to go Sonoma. In the Clarence Campbell, I have to begin by talking about the Ugandan Saguenay series.
Mm-hmm.
That was incredible.
Yes.
He was up 3-1, and in Game 5, he had a lead with under 2 minutes to play. Ugandan pulls his goalie and ties the game.
Yes. Yeah.
Proceeds to win it in overtime. That's the stuff of legends.
Yeah. That was fun. That was a really fun series.
Yeah.
Really fun series.
And then in the final 2 games, Piz, with some goalie adjustments, went on to win Game 6 and 7 in dramatic comeback fashion.
At game 5, 6, and 7 were all 1-goal wins. But that's what you got to do, man.
Yeah.
You got to be able to hang in there.
You got to be able to hang in there, but also make adjustments.
Yeah.
And Piz did that.
Yeah, Biz did do that. Congratulations.
That was awesome. The other games in the lower bracket of Clarence Gamble, unfortunately, was blacked out. Magnus took out him and Yoda in 7 games. That seems like a much longer series than most of us would have predicted. But
I'm shocked by that, but
Yeah.
Again, we have a segment on Magnus. We're gonna have a little talk, so
Yeah.
we'll just leave that till then. But yeah, I'm surprised by that. But Magnus moves on.
would have been nice to watch the series
Yeah.
and have some opinions on the state of his play.
Yeah. I mean, can't talk about it if we don't watch it. So
In the upper part of the bracket in the Clarence Gamble, I actually had a first round bye because I forget who's
it's
not
Don
playing?
Don
Don. And
Dum
then
Dum.
Minnesota Golden Gophers gets taken out by Caledonia
Yes.
in 5 games.
Yes.
That was surprising. Caledonia looked great. The truth is he outplayed the Gophers and deserved to win the series.
The truth is the Gophers had backpacking on their mind.
But he also outplayed the Gophers.
That's in the series he did, but I think the Gophers were distracted. So
Caledonia's offensive abilities
Look,
continue to improve.
yes, he's getting better and better every time.
Yeah.
So it's not a surprise. Those teams are probably a push, but I'm just saying I think Joe was distracted.
I hear you. But
So.
if you give Caledonia breakaways and space,
Yes.
he can bury it.
Well, he's like Waterloo Light, right?
Yeah. And then that brings us to the second round matchup between myself and Caledonia.
Okay.
I am a notorious slow starter. I am. And in the first game, before I knew it, it was 5-0
coming.
Caledonia. I was like, what the fuck's going on here? But the good thing was, before the game was over, I chipped away, and by the third period, I got my momentum. It was 5-3 final. I lost, but that carried through to the next 4 games,
Mm-hmm.
and I went for the 4-game sweep afterwards. So,
No.
and a
It was
couple of them,
5-game series. You won the
Lopsided.
last 4 games.
yes. That's
Congratulations.
Yeah.
You're in the conference finals of the where I had you, and I have Uganda beating
Yeah.
San Diego also, just because I think San Diego. I watched San Diego. I watched Magnus play in the queue today. He just looked rusty. So I think he just looks rusty.
He does. He looks rusty. The Wolf, I'm waiting, obviously, for the winner of Ugandan Magnus. I hope that can be played soon. I thought it was going to be played pretty much right now,
Yeah, it was supposed to be right now.
but I haven't heard anything. So, like I said last time, I'm picking myself to get to the championship. So, according to today's prediction, it's going to be a rematch of Sonoma versus the Wolf.
So you're going to beat Uganda.
I do think so, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Or Magnus.
You don't care who
Probably
it
not.
is. You don't care who it is.
But I do have Magnus. It's Ugandan beating Magnus
Okay.
also.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the Broly updates.
Okay.
All right. Anything else you wanted to say?
No, I don't like talking about the shitty anyway, so. Let's go as we're going through, as you go through.
Yeah.
We can meld our top cookies section in with this. I'll leave the one thing we want to talk about till last in the top cookies. I'll leave that to last, but as we go through, we can go through the highlights that we have for the couple series that I have highlights for. That way we can work it together. So I don't care. Whatever you want to talk about first. I mean, we can get out of the way, the sweeps out of the way. So, Tegucigalpa destroyed Sunnyvale 4-0.
Yeah.
And then on the other side,
Well,
same thing. Thunder Bay Pike destroyed Audubon. But they were not that destroyed. They were all 3-1s. His games were all 3-1s.
So let's stick with the one side first. The
Okay.
Prince of Wales.
Okay.
Tegucigalpa lopsided, as predicted from me in the last podcast.
Me too.
The Puss won in a sweep fashion,
Mm-hmm.
never really in danger of losing any game. Sunnyvale looked overmatched in all facets. He's a good guy.
Anyway,
The Hoff Italy series,
it was fantastic.
much tighter. Hoff took it in 6 games with impressive goalie play, as he's known for. Also opportunistic scoring.
Yeah. Yes.
Despite the one game, Italy put up 6 goals. Despite that game, all the other 5 games,
Yeah.
Italy scored mostly one goal or 2. So it's tough to score against Hoff.
It is.
That's just
you just gotta
bottom
move the
line.
puck on him.
Yeah.
Just gotta move the puck on him. But I get it. Yes, he's a goal. He's goalie sitter extraordinaire.
Italy needs reinforcements with his team.
Oh, Italy, dude. Joe played
yeah.
way above his
Yeah.
fucking way above where his team should have been, man. Like he
probably-
did pretty close to what Colin did his first year. I mean, that to be scoring goals with a guy named Nabokov, that's not the goalie. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
That was impressive. As again, Joe always impresses. So I got no problem with that.
So sticking with the Prince of Wales, Hoff and Taguchi Golpa
We'll
are
play each other.
set for tonight.
Yeah.
Big time second round matchup.
Yeah. What are you doing?
It's
Taguchi Galpa is the series favorite at minus 225.
all right. This is a rematch of a couple seasons ago in the playoffs. Caden took him 7 games, almost, as Sean Bell pointed out today in the hockey news, almost shocked the world. The Wolf predicts the Puss is going to win it this time, like last time, in 6.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
I mean, Hoff will stay. You got to score, and Caden will admit scoring is not his best ability. So until he gets either the lethal scoring going, he probably won't beat somebody like.
Listen,
Puss.
it'll be interesting
It'll be good. Oh yeah, the games will be tight.
if he can somehow
You gotta hang in there.
throw a couple of uppercuts in those first 2
Love your
games
stupid fucking terms.
and scare Puss. You know, these guys choke. These guys from Pittsburgh. It's in their blood.
It is. Their blood runs black and gold, which must mean it runs bad because you guys don't got anything. Fucking, we got the guy fucking getting Twix bars out of a fucking drawer in his kitchen. Jesus.
So we will see. But I mean, watching Sagitan, we'll get to him. But watching him and his goalie play yesterday against the Typhoons,
Yeah.
holy shit.
Well, yeah. Come on, let's stay on this side though.
Yeah.
Stay on this side. So let's go to
The lower half of the bracket,
Renfrew and
yeah, Alberta,
yeah.
another incredible series. As predicted, it went 7 games.
Yes. Yes.
Except Alberta won. My prediction was LHX would win. The thing that stood out from that series is both teams play lockdown defense.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
it's
agree.
like
I agree.
so hard to get good opportunities.
And I have some points on that. So I have a highlight here of one of their plays here. Let's watch this.
Yeah,
So this is Game 5. The series tied 2 games to 2, and that was overtime. And Gelberg won Game 5. So it ended up going to Game 7.
that was huge.
Yeah, so we got into Game 7, and when I was watching, 2 things stood out to me. Here's one of them. Just watch the Renfrew had a chance to win this series. Just watch the defense again on this.
Yeah,
Like he smothers Renfrew with 2 minutes. 2 minutes. That's 2 minutes left in the game, in the third period of Game 3, and he's coming in hard with one of his best players, and he stands up. Now watch this one too.
Yeah.
Let me go show you this one. This is now with 1 minute left. He totally stuffs Kachuk from getting into the zone. Makes him have to pass the puck around. When he finally gets the puck and he dumps it around back, it's a fucking turnover. He gets it back. Watch. Nothing.
yeah. It's-
Nothing. I mean, that's composure. That's he doesn't lose. That's great, Ellis. I mean, that's impressive. That's impressive.
Very impressive victory against
Yeah,
LHX.
yeah. LHX isn't an easy guy to beat in any way means in anywhere at all. So It's impressive. That was impressive.
And finally, the Pitt intramurals, good friend Nipples, seemed to barely sweat against Rome. Anyone
Yeah.
that follows the W knows this was going to be an extremely difficult matchup for Rome. He's going to have to play perfect goaltending, and he couldn't do it.
Here, I got two highlights from that series.
Yeah.
So let's see what we got here. This is first game of the series. 4 minutes, round the back, and he capitalizes. That's what Nips is going to do to you, and that crushes you. In game one, let's watch it again. In game one, it's tied 3-3, 4 minutes left, and that's how he takes the lead. That's frustrating.
And
That's
if you've got
frustrating.
experience against Nipples, and I know it's sometimes easier said than done, you got to take the goalie
Yeah,
right away.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because
Let's
as you
look.
notice, go back to that one last time. He doesn't take the goalie right here.
Yeah.
Too late.
Nah, you're too
Yeah.
late because you're pinned. Yeah.
So,
Here's another one. Let's see this. So because this was just, it was close there at certain aspects, but then watch, you have a play like this, bam, he just comes down.
yep.
He just comes down and he takes control. Third period again. This is here. Let's watch this one more time. Third period. This is game 2.
Yeah.
So that, and after this, I think the series. What were the scores of the final? The last 2 games of the series.
Do you see it on yours?
Yeah, hold on. My phone keeps closing. Yeah. So the scores were still 2-0 and 2. 2-0 and 2-1. This went 5. So Rome did win one game 2-0.
Yeah.
But again, it was pretty much. Again, Rome is really good, and the term is goalie sitting. It's not. If you want it to be derogatory, it can be derogatory, but some guys play with that method, and it is what it is. But that's what I call it, goalie sitting. So
The
Rome
Pitt,
is really good with that.
the Pitt Alberta series
Going to be
should
interesting.
be an extremely fun watch.
Yeah.
Both teams seem content with playing the dump game. Alberta plays the dump game pretty
Yes.
good.
Yes.
He dumps a lot. And
Yeah.
both, well, like opportunistic offense, right?
That's the thing. You'll go down and have 10 shots on him, and he'll come down and score on one shot on you.
Yeah. Pitt plays great defense too, though.
He does.
So,
So who are you taking?
the Pitt team seems to have more diverse ways to score,
So you're taking Pitt?
and that should give him the edge.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're taking Pitt.
Because Pitt has the weight of the room shit.
Mm.
He does.
We know that.
So
We know that.
if he can quiet down those demons,
Yeah,
Pitt-
he can't quiet those demons.
Pitt
See, do you really think it's going to be a all Yinzer conference final on that side? So what's going to happen? A bomb going to drop because they're both going to melt down? That's going to go to game 7, 1-0 in like triple overtime.
I think
Plus wins that series
I
anyway.
would not be surprised if Alberta beats Pitt.
Okay, I wouldn't be surprised
I
either.
would be surprised if Hoff beats Tegucigalpa.
Okay, so I'm still going. My conference final is Pitt, Tegucigalpa,
Yeah,
and I have Tegucigalpa winning.
because the
So-
other thing about Alberta that we haven't yet said, his goalie plays awesome.
Yes, of course. Yes, that's just strength of his. Like I said, I actually don't even consider him a goalie sitter. He's just very active with his goaltending. He's like Dan used to be.
His goalie plays.
Yeah, he's like
Really
Dan
good.
used to be. Dan
So I
lost it.
think, well, if we're ranking goalie play, he's top 5 easily. All right,
What is that?
it's background chime. Yeah.
Can you hear it? Is there something? Is there there's anything? There's anything? He's
Oh, they hear the chiming
ah,
from the back. Yeah, so Pitt can struggle sometimes with elite goaltending.
yes, yes.
So,
So let's go to the other side where we were saying Thunder Bay swept Autobahn. I mean, not much to say. I mean, they were all 3-1. I think that takes effort from Sean to score 3 goals to 1 every game. That's
Yes.
pretty impressive. So they moved on, and then we have you agreed with that anyway. We saw that.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what
we
was,
saw
we didn't know if it
this.
was going to be sweep, but yeah, it was
I
going to
think
be.
I think we both predicted sweep.
Okay.
Yeah. We did.
And then, so then the next series would be Richfield, Oracles, and Maryhill Alumni, which was, I mean, I don't know if I was surprised by it, but I mean, there's just some style that Red plays that's really takes the body. It's really fun to watch.
Yeah.
And he just beat up on Richfield. He really did just beat up on Richfield. Every time you thought Richfield was getting back in the game, Red would bounce him, turn over, and score. It was just like,
He's been impressive.
yeah, Red's been really fun to watch. Really
Yeah.
fun to watch.
He's definitely, made a name for himself this season
Yes,
as being like one of the top players.
yes, definitely.
So
I have a clip. Let's hear. Let's watch this one.
Yeah.
Boom. So here, so that's 4 seconds left in the third period to tie the game, and that's game 2. This is game 2. 4 seconds left.
Yeah.
He ties the game.
yeah,
Sends it to overtime. So let's see how. I think this is the overtime then. So into overtime, straight up. Oh yeah, goal right off the face-off. Roberts steals that game. I mean that's game 2, and then you lose that. You're down 2-0. And what was the rest of the
it was
series?
sweeps. I mean, it was.
Yeah. So then game 3 won 2-1, and in game 4 he won 5-3. So
But the thing about Red, he's an elite scorer.
he is. He is.
If you give Red, yeah, let him inside. If you give Red any room at all, he's gonna make you pay. You have to just be on him.
Yes. Yes.
So
I agree.
that's another series that's going off tonight.
That's getting played tonight too.
Yeah, and it's being called by Colin.
Colin's calling it.
Yeah,
That's-
9:15.
Okay.
So that's gonna be awesome.
So that side. So then down below we had Taipei and North Bay, which let's do that one last in the first round. So Hamilton and Mini Hat-Trick, which was a good series. I mean, Hamilton even said he's just happy to be here, and he won 2 games. So he scored a bunch of goals. It's not like he looked terrible. He played real well, man.
So I got some things to say about that series because I was confused watching that series, as other people were too.
Of the style of
Well,
Nick.
Nick is regarded as probably the best or one of the best manual goalie players,
Mm-hmm.
and very clearly he was not playing the goalie. And I talked to Nick. He said it was a strategy, but it almost blew up in his face because by the time he recognized that if he continued to play without using manual,
He's gonna lose.
Derek was going to beat him.
Yeah, he was gonna lose.
So
Yeah.
when he finally took over, he was rusty.
Yes,
So-
I agree.
That was an interesting strategy that almost blew up in his face. Because once he took over manual, everything changed.
Yes. And then Hamilton, even though Hamilton still scored 5 goals in Game 6.
Yeah.
I mean, to lose 7-5. I mean, holy cow. I mean, Hamilton was coming back. So
Yeah.
you played well.
Oh.
DS played well.
Derek was impressive, yeah.
Yeah, I thought you played real well, Derek. I mean, as much as I say you were just happy to be there.
Yes. So that was an interesting series. The next series is the
North Bay and Taipei, yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a bunch of clips from this one too
Yeah.
because this was a really good series.
This one's 7.
Yeah, this one's 7. It was fantastic. It was really good. So when we pick the series up, I want to pick it up in Game 5. So this is tying goal in Game 5. So it's 2-2, and that's a beautiful. Let's watch it again. It's Yager, and of course
Yeah.
Pat with his beautiful goal celebration. So this is the tying goal. Boom, with 2:50 left in the third period of Game 5. So we're going to go overtime. Let's see what the overtime winner looks like. So it's Taipei up and boom. I mean, what are you guys on breakaways? Let's watch it one more time. Paul Correa.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's nice.
Boom.
Just nice. Really nice. Nice and smooth. I mean, what you expect what's going to happen if you let Korea get out into the open. So then we go to Game 6, and this went to overtime too. So let's see the overtime winner in Game 6. They carry the puck down into the zone. Oh, just beautiful. Let's watch this again. That's Jones Hogan. Nice. Let's watch this again. He draws the goalie over. Is Nate on the goalie? Oh, he gets on the goalie. Nate stays inside.
Yep.
So then went to Game 7. So let's watch the goal that clinched the series. I love these uniforms. Beautiful ball.
Wow, beautiful.
I mean, you wouldn't expect it from Matthew Dandino, but he's like a 5. I think he's a 5 speed, and he obviously has stick handling. That was a beautiful goal. Watch it one more
And
time.
that was in overtime.
Yeah, overtime of Game 7.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Clutch. I mean, that's great. That's great. I mean, it sucks you lost to Mini Hat-Trick the next the next round. But that was really nice, and that was a really fun series. Really fun series.
It was. Patrick almost did it.
Yeah, it was close. It was
Yeah.
close. I mean, that's you played as well as you can play against one of the better players in the league, too. So you got nothing to be ashamed of.
So you just, touched upon it, but the
Mini Hat-Trick.
Segathon Type A series,
Yes.
was it last night?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another classic.
Another awesome series. Segathon,
I feel like those guys play each other all the time.
unlike against Derek, he was using manual from the start. And his manual was ridiculous. I mean, he was awesome. He was, we're talking about Segathon's manual goalie.
Oh, yeah. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
What we expect from him.
It's what we expect. It's tough because Nathan's got a great season, has a great team, but when you're up against a guy that can play goalie like that, it's tough to win that game.
Yeah, it makes it really
Yeah.
hard. Really
You
hard.
have to be pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So that was a 6-game series. Segathon wins it.
Segathon's in the conference finals yet again.
Yep, waiting for the winner of Thunder Bay and
Red and Sean, which just played in the championship of the Q. So if that was any sign, this is going to be a knockdown, drag out fight.
yeah.
It's going to be tough. This is going to be no joke. Seriously, good luck to Red. Sean, we're all tired of you winning. I got no problem with speaking for the league and saying, fucking lose already. Just fucking lose. We need you to lose, and don't throw it. I don't want you to throw it. I want you to lose fair and square.
First of all, Sean Bell would never throw it.
No, I've seen him take it easy. Those Canadian guys have a heart. We don't have a fucking heart in
Listen.
Philadelphia.
He's like the wolf in some ways.
Never. What the fuck? You destroy people. He backs off.
No. Hey, I'll play anybody anytime. That's how he is.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I want him to lose. We want him to lose.
Um,
We want you to lose. And I never used to say that, but now I'm saying it all the time.
well, I had Segathon against Thunder Bay as my last podcast. That's what I predicted. Except I have Segathon taking on Thunder Bay.
Okay, so you have Segathon going to the championship against Puss,
Yes.
Tegucigalpa.
And I have Thunder Bay winning. Sorry. Segathon winning.
I think this is the first time that you did not pick Thunder Bay.
Yeah, it is.
Note that.
Yeah.
This might mean something. The first time this guy has not picked Thunder Bay. Okay. I had Thunder Bay against Puss, and Puss winning. I said Puss doesn't win this year.
Well,
He's never going to win.
I have Segathon beating the Puss. Let's see, he's got to beat Thunder Bay first.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy's going to be locked in. I'm confident. So let's move on to the Q. The ROM has been released,
Yes.
and it's
Yes.
incredible.
It is. It is incredible.
Each season, I become more fond of the secondary league that we play in.
Well, I mean, and I've been thinking about it. It is a secondary league, but with 18 teams in it, and they're all real high skill level teams. I mean, even Jared coming in, I mean,
Yeah.
he just showed that he can play. Who did he just when he swept Dan in that series in the W, obviously, right? I think obviously we think he can play, so Jared can play. The Q is no joke. It's just hoping we can get this quickness going.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You got anything else?
Just with respect to the draft
Oh yeah,
in the Q,
yeah.
I guess anything that we can do as a collective group to help Magnus, I'm all for it.
Yes,
What he does, we're all appreciative of,
extremely.
right? And we want to make sure this kind of stuff keeps going on.
Yes,
So That's all. Also, just another thing about the upcoming W draft and the off season.
Yes.
We'll touch on some of this later. But something I was wondering about is, since the start of the season is not until August for season 8, do we need to wait to do the draft, or can we do the draft and have our new team? For those that are interested, we can almost like have a preseason or something like that
That would be cool.
during the summer. So I, of course, not surprisingly, would love to do something like that. Right?
Not surprisingly.
So I don't know. I'm just wondering and kind of throwing that out there.
Well, again,
What
so
do you think
about doing something like that?
about getting our teams, getting the draft?
Well, I think he did that. I think he gave us a preseason Ron last year when we had the break. I feel like we had it. I mean, that's up to him. I mean, at this point, like we said, with Magnus, I don't.
Just because it's loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was just saying, and again, we don't, we're not gonna fluff nothing here. Like, we all greatly appreciate everything that Magnus does, but we've all noticed that he isn't as involved, and anymore. I worry that when I bother him, I feel like I'm bothering him.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't want to be any kind of bother to anyone. So I want to try to figure out how we can help him out to keep this thing moving. And I know having more people involved with like touching the sheets and stuff is tough, but like something like the draft, we should easily be able to keep that thing moving along and pumping out. I'm super appreciative, as we all are, of everything that Caden and Salvo do to help out. I mean, it's great that Magnus lets them help out, but I think just the more we have people help out, the better. I mean, it's you'd have to be blind to not see the difference in Magnus from season 3 to season 6.
Yeah.
Right? There's a
Yeah.
big difference, and I had no problem saying it. It's noticing we miss him. That's why we're saying it, but it's just noticeable. I know he's got a shit ton going on. But it's noticeable when he's not around. Again, everybody's got life. But all I'm saying is it's noticeable when he's not around. I said this 2 podcasts ago. So, yeah.
That's all.
So that's it. That's it. That's
Not
all.
looking to step on anyone's toes or.
At all. But just a way to keep it moving. Especially with the W draft coming. We know how that goes. That goes on for a week. So
Yeah, I think it could be fun if we have our new lineups. You know,
I like the same way he did last year.
sometimes-
If he has time to
Yeah.
give us a round.
sometime we do the draft in July or whatever, take a month or so before the new season to mess around. We have something we're going to pitch later in the podcast that could be fun if we have this. So let's move on to glitch goals.
Oh yeah. So I just want to. We're still in this barn burner segment, so this is a hot topic. So I was thinking about this because I've heard JP talking about this, and we've all experienced it all the way back to our first playoff series in season 1. What's worse, when you score a goal and then it glitches off the screen, or when it glitches on and you're at the face-off because the other team scored a goal, right? I mean, which is worse?
So I actually just went through this with Pink Elephants in the queue.
Mm-hmm.
We played 2 games, but it was like crap.
Yeah.
So like I won one and he won one, but the games are so shitty, we just decided to scrap the games.
Yeah.
Because they were like, he scored and like I was in my offensive zone, and then I scored. And it wasn't hockey,
Okay.
So I think, sometimes that's just how it is.
Yes.
Like teleportation and shit like that.
Jittering. I hate all that.
Big jumps, jitters. I think the thing to do, and people talk about this, is pause the game, try to connect the other person's host, or try to reset. If it doesn't work, just scrap the game
Yeah.
and try a different night.
Yeah, you don't have to. I mean, playoffs, we want to try to get them in. I mean,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But you can't force it. You never want somebody to be at a disadvantage. But also, that's got to be spoken up right away. You know what I mean? You both got to be understanding what you're dealing with. And I think most of us understand the people who have trouble with their hookups. And they understand the people who have the troubled hookups know that they're the ones who have the troubled hookups.
Yeah.
So it's all just, again, as much communication as possible. Always. When default is communication, that's it. Default to communication.
Yes. Yeah.
You want to go on to the next part?
Sure.
So I just wanted to break it up some here, since it was just going to be us, and I figured there's Chris was just texting something. We were just since it's just us, I figured we'd get in a little bit so you guys know a little more about us. I know a group of you guys know us to some degree, but I don't know how many people, how long anybody's been listening to us to have heard any of either the dark side or anything that's been done. So I just had 4 questions I was thinking for our 5-hole segment, since we didn't have a guest to ask. But so I'm going to ask him 4 questions, and he's going to ask me 4 questions if he has 4 questions.
The
So
same ones.
you're going to ask the same ones?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. That's fine. That's
I
fine.
think.
That's fine. So the first question I had for Ed was give a quick history of his family, just so we all know his deal, since you guys
Sure.
are listening to us.
All right, so both of my parents are from Nicaragua. My father became a doctor at medical school in Mexico, but wanted the American dream, so decided to move to the U.S., passed his boards at University of Miami, got his residency at Nazareth Hospital in Philly, and that's where my family moved to this area. I'm one of 6 kids. I have 2 living brothers, 2 sisters. In 2016, lost my brother Carlos. That's who the trophy's named for in February. So that trophy that you see, that JP's won 4 times, that's called the Los, after my late brother.
Yes.
I've been married since 2003. I have 2 kids, a 19-year-old son and a 17-year-old daughter. I have 2 dogs, who you've heard on the podcast, and a cat.
Very good.
That's the family.
That was a quick fucking summary, man.
Yeah.
That was excellent. Great job, man. You really did write a whole little blurb down. This guy.
Yeah.
See, this is homework. This is doing his homework. I love it.
You want me to do all 4?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. So the next one was, where did you go to college, and did you enjoy the experience?
Yeah. I went to Penn State University, undergrad, and Arcadia University graduate school. My undergrad experience was probably similar to many.
Mm-hmm.
Drinking lots of booze, reading, lots of books, and smoking some pot.
You had to throw that in there, huh?
That's what I did.
Yeah. You don't do it anymore, though. He's a good guy.
Yeah. I enjoyed it, definitely. Penn State was, especially being away, Penn State was cool as shit.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I loved it. So, definitely learned, also how to be on my own.
Yes.
Kind of grew up
Yeah.
being out there.
You have no choice.
You had no choice, yes. Question 3.
Yeah. Let's go question 3. Where did you meet your wife?
I met my wife at an Applebee's in Northeast Philly. Believe it or not.
Nice. What year?
2000.
And you guys went to Penn State, both went to Penn State together.
We did.
Yes.
Yeah. But this was in Philly. I was out for drinks after an exam in grad school,
Mm-hmm.
and she was there.
She couldn't resist.
Got her phone number,
The wolf's magnetism.
and then a few days later, we went on a date
Okay.
at a karaoke bar.
Why was she in Philly?
She lived in Philly.
Oh, she was living in
She
Philly.
moved there.
Because Amy's originally from Pittsburgh.
Yeah. So we went to a karaoke bar with Justin. You know
Okay.
Justin?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Went out for drinks,
Yep.
and here we are. 20 fucking years later.
20 years. You're fucking old, man.
Yeah.
Last one question for you. Why do you love this game so much?
I love this game first because I love hockey. Second, I love to compete. And third, because I have an aptitude for it.
Bingo. There it was.
I'm fucking good at it.
Big brain on Brad. Yeah. You got it.
Alright.
I I can't disagree with any of those points. They're all good points.
Yes. All right. So now tell us about your family.
So a quick history of my family. I'll start on my mom's side. They were my pop-ups. My pop-up was on his own when he was 16. Met my mom when she was 16. They ended up being married in like 18. They had 7 or 8 kids. One was my mom, and then my mom had met my dad. They actually went to kindergarten together. My dad's side of the family, my grandmother is straight from Ireland. My grandfather was second generation German, and he worked on a printing press. And then, so my dad met my mom in kindergarten. It wasn't like that, but they just happened to be in the same class. And then, I guess, my dad was in the Air Force, and he met my mom when he was home. They both lived in Northeast Philadelphia. They got married in 67, had my brother in 68. I have 5 brothers and sisters. Everybody used to call us the Brady Bunch because there was 3 boys and 3 girls. I used to fucking hate that. I'm the only one in my family. Well, aside from my dad went to Penn State, my older brother went to Penn State, so they're big Penn State fans. And my older brother is somewhat sports fan, but really I'm the only real sports fan in my family, which is kind of strange.
Yeah.
So we talk about a lot of different stuff at my family's house. The important thing to them is not putting sports on. I typically put it on because nobody else is really interested in it. So that's interesting. And then my family, I met my wife in 2000 and 2002.
Oh, you just went on to the second question.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
I
sorry.
just skipped right over. No, because
Oh wait, no. Where did you go to college?
there was a second part to the first question.
What was the second part?
What was your nickname in high school?
My nickname was Dirty Balls, and my nickname was Dirty Balls because I almost just let it go, but I had some fun with a girl named Maria in high school, and she was not known to be the cleanest person to be with. She was hot, but she wasn't known to be the cleanest person to be with. So Dirty Balls was the way. Everybody signed my yearbook my senior year that way, and then at my graduation party at my parents' house, they had my yearbook sitting out. So all my aunts and uncles were reading all these things that were lettered to Dirty Balls. So they're all reading all these things, and it's all like Dirty Balls, good luck. What? So then, I had to go around and talk to them all at this party, and they're all like, "Why is everybody calling you Dirty Balls?" I didn't give them the explanation.
So I know you didn't finish college, but tell us about post high school training.
Oh, so I went to Bucks County Community College for a year. Then I transferred to Penn State Abington, which is a satellite of Penn State, Maine. And then I was gonna go to Penn State, Maine, and I didn't. I just decided I didn't like school. I was never a school person, so I decided to go for heating and air conditioning school for that. But then I also, at the same exact time I decided to do that, I turned 21 and I started going to the bar every night. So that kind of fell out. It wasn't something I was really interested in. And then my uncle told me to come down and learn a trade of how to build cabinets. So I went and worked for my uncle for I think it was just under 5 years. And I ended up hurting my back, and I had to sue him, which was kind of awkward because he didn't have insurance. So I had to deal with that whole thing. And then I got a job up in Doylestown. I was there for a year and a half. And then I went to where I'm at now, Jarrett Vaughan Builders, which I've been for 16 years. And I've run the shop for the last 10 years there. And in 2006 or 2002, I met my wife.
2002.
2002 out of Reed's Bluebell, which is right around the corner from where we actually live, or where Ed lives at Highland Avenue. She had a 2-month-old when I met her. Zach's mine. I adopted him when he was 10, right? I think it was like 10. I also have, so Zach right now is 20. I have, he's home from college. He goes to Bloomsburg University. I have a 15-year-old, Logan, who will be going to North Penn High School next year. He plays football, and he played hockey. He played all kinds of sports, but football is his main thing. And then my daughter, Annalise, her nickname is Bootsy, and that's because her brother, Logan, could never say her name when he was a baby, so he just called her Bootsy, and then that kind of stuck, so everybody calls her Bootsy. and she's a dancer. And then she goes to the Catholic high school out by us, and she goes to high school next year, and she goes from 8th to 9th, and Logan goes to high school from 9th to 10th. Public school is different from high school out here.
Yeah.
For whatever, but anyway. So yeah, so Shannon and I have been married since 2006. We got married in 2006.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Finally, why do you love this game?
I love this game because unlike any other sports game, I feel like I can control a lot more of it, and it's really simple. I love how simple it is with how much control I have. That's the first part. That's the actual part, the game that I like. That's why I like how simple it is. That's why I don't like when it gets souped up too much, because I like the simplicity of it. It's just really easy to play when you're stoned or drunk or just trying to have a conversation and play at the same time. It's one of those games that's just a great time filler. And since we've been friends since 2013, we've played it thousands of times. So it's just it's competitiveness wise, it gives us something to argue over or something to
Talk smack.
feel better about yourself. I can sound better than him because I feel better and I put my balls on his face. I mean, so that's what drives us in our group, is we like to get over on each other. That's why we like playing it so much.
And the W and the Q and this whole thing has just added this whole
Another aspect to it.
Yeah, because you're like building the team and you're.
Well, I've said from the beginning, I've always dreamed of something like this. Yeah. And then when Segathon reached out, the first time before this actually ended up happening, it was like pie in the sky. And even when you were like, let's do this, and we went through the draft and I wasn't set up early on. Remember how much of a pain in the ass it was early on for me? Yeah. I didn't even think it was going to happen then. And so to think that we're here 7 years later, I mean, again, kudos to the motherfucking Magnus. Yeah. It's no lie, he's brought most of us something that we all think about a lot and we all really enjoy, right? It's something that we constantly talk about. He's created this little world for us to have a fucking podcast in. So, and
our wives have just accepted it.
Yeah, which is strange. It's really strange. It's like the talk, even like, oh, you're going to do the podcast tonight. What?
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of awkward that it's just kind of like, nah, you guys are total fucking dorks. Like, what are you doing? It's, oh no, they're going to do. Oh, do you have to prepare for the podcast? Do you have to get your stuff together? Like, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Right. I'm surprised by that, which is nice.
My son popped his head in there.
Yeah.
A few seconds ago, he sees us doing this podcast. Our laptops are laid out and papers scrolled all over the table. Whiskey bottles.
Liquor in hand, like it's
just
it's part of what we do. Right?
That's right.
So, all right. So that was our quick little just like get to know us segment. Well, we're gonna have as of right now, June 30th is gonna be our next episode. I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm going on vacation as soon as school lets out on the 17th. And then, so on June 30th, right now he's committed. Hopefully he stays with it, as Ellis is going to come on with us. So I'm hoping to really get to know that guy. I think he's got some personality from his posts. I'm sure he's going to talk to us about Hacksball, which I won't give a fuck about, but we'll let him talk about it. But anyway,
I want to learn about it.
I know you do. You're nice.
No, not that. His game.
Yes.
The evolution.
How improved he has. Yes,
Oh,
I think he's playing a lot more than we know.
Even though I swept him this year, his game has evolved.
You just had to get that.
Well, I'm just
you wanted to work that in there.
I talk facts here.
So let's do this last thing I wanted to talk about with. We were talking about the top cookies. Remember, I wanted to go over this controversial. Item here. So last week, on our first time that we did top cookies, we showed a segment on a goalie pool. So here's our picture perfect goalie pool that I still haven't complained about, but it's picture perfect by Redford.
It's picture perfect by our good friend LHX.
Yes, so let's watch it.
Before the red line.
Beautiful. I mean, I can't complain about that. As much as I complain about everything, I can't complain about that. I even got myself back in position to try and make the play, and I missed the check.
Yeah.
So
perfect shot.
Yeah, perfect shot. Yeah, it all fell together for him. He pulled it off perfectly. So this tries to get mimics, like you said. JP did it. I don't have that one. I should have went and pulled that one. Yeah. But we have one. So in Hamilton Mini Hat Trick, we had a goalie pool. So I just want to look at this one and let's compare.
Yeah.
Okay, so what stands out first, outside of the fact that he doesn't even get a really good shot off?
Well, clearly, he's in the offensive zone when he pauses.
Okay, let's watch it again. Doesn't pause there, pauses there. He almost pauses a half a second too late.
And the unspoken rule, or maybe it's a rule, is before the red line.
Yes, before the red line.
Before the red line.
And again, this is why we're doing this. This is why we're doing this segment, so we can all kind of learn and everything like that. And we're going to pick on DS here. I mean, it didn't work, so it didn't matter. But I just know when I'm expecting the goalie pool, and I never expect it anyway.
Yeah.
But I would never expect it there. I would. This to me makes more sense to me because you had the time to do it before you got to the red line.
Yeah.
So you should pull before the red line.
But also, one other reason that we think from the etiquette standpoint, it's the right thing to do is because if you're on defense and you're trying to get somewhere and someone pauses, you're completely thrown off.
Yes.
And
I'm
you
thrown off no matter what, whenever it happens.
Yeah.
Every time. What are these guys saying on there? Anything?
Never heard of that rule. Why is that?
Who's in there?
Well, Salvat, we're explaining it now. The rule is prior to the red line because
It's etiquette.
if you do it in the offensive zone, if you're pursuing someone defensively, it's tough to get back on that person.
You got to understand what happens when you press that
You
pause
get
button,
completely
right?
discombobulated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not only that, that affects the B. You're hitting B button to change guys, right? So that's
That's right.
you got to understand that all this comes into factor into play. I'm not picking on anybody. Again, Derek, I love you. I'm just showing like there's a difference, and I'm only bringing it up because this is something that's been talked about. I don't know, maybe Salva wasn't around for that talk, but this is definitely there's an etiquette to this. So we just want to make sure we're all on the same page. Because again, no, most of the time it's going to be that 99% of the time you're going to get that reaction.
Yeah.
There's going to be nobody say anything,
Yeah.
but.
So we'll know this podcast,
We talk about everything, man. We don't hold back. We don't hold back.
and
So,
some if people disagree. That's okay.
yeah, you're allowed to disagree. You're allowed to disagree. I don't really care.
Remember the hot chalk rule?
Yeah, yeah,
The pause
yes.
because
yes.
it was shitty.
Now again, if people weren't around to hear that, maybe people don't remember that whole thing that happened. Like, there's just some etiquette with pausing when you actually pause the game because it
Yeah.
affects your opponent.
So basically, hot chalk got disconnected. So I paused the game. He reconnected, but by this point, my thinking is we're going to flip the puck out or ice it and stop play. He just, I unpause it. He takes the puck down and scores. He just scores.
Yes, yeah. Whereas the etiquette is to drop back a second. You know what I mean? Like,
Drop back, make sure the person that paused it can get their feet under him. Right? None of that happened. He took the puck. He came down and scored. Known as the high chalk rule.
yeah.
This is the way.
Chris, if you're listening, that's right.
I mean, again, this is why we're gonna do this segment so we can highlight stuff like this. I think it's gonna work perfectly for that. And as I said, man, we'll break down any video game highlight, so it don't matter. But I love that we can do it for this league so that we can show certain things. And just do me a favor, you don't have to post them in any room. I don't want to have to trace them down that way. Just send them to me. If you can just if you want me to show one, or if I'm interested in showing one, it depends. Like, I don't know. A lot of times I'm just watching the game and I remember moments. And the thing is I do all this shit while I'm on my work computer. So if I don't have time, like, I have certain times where I break I have time to work on stuff for this podcast. So just, if you played a game last night, the games, I didn't have time to clips from it. I just didn't have time to get it done. So that's why these are from earlier clips. But
Yeah.
just so everybody understands, like, if you've posted a clip and you wanted me to show it, that's fine. But I have certain instances through a game where I'm like, oh shit, I definitely want to talk about that. I like showing Alberta's defense, like, that really stood out to me. Like, that's a different part of his game.
Yeah.
It's not just the outright scoring that we all do. Like, seeing somebody play defense well,
Yeah.
that impresses me. Again, and that's a part of High's background is we really take pride in our defense because we don't have manual goalie. So you really have to play good defense.
Yep, it's true.
That's just part of what it is. All right.
Which is why I'm excited to see the NIP series this Sunday.
Yes.
Sunday night.
Yes.
That's going to be definitely something I'm watching. And we'll be taking clips from that
Of course we will.
for the next episode.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
All right. Move on
So
to
we
this.
had our open discussion, and we can talk about more. But I wanted to talk. I think I ran this by you, where we were, we're looking for something to fill our time, and I don't know
So
how
s-
this would work.
So some of what Mike's about to talk about somewhat requires that we have our teams before the summer break.
Yeah, it would be nice to have updated teams, and not
Updated
playing with
teams.
our season 7 teams. I'd rather have our season 8 teams. But so I just was thinking of ways. You guys always come up with these tournaments, so I just figured, like, why don't we do something like a USA versus Canada Cup, where we split the teams, not the fictional teams where they are, but where the owner is. So we take all the Canadian guys and they're on one team and one side of the bracket, and all the American guys are on the other side. The USA guys are on the other side of the bracket. We'd have to do like some kind of pool play to get to the 8 guys that are going to represent each team in the 16-team bracket, and then we just do the Canadian guys on this side, the American guys on this side for best of 7 series is like our normal playoffs, and then the 2 winners would be playing for like the championship of the world.
The USA versus
Yeah,
Canada.
USA Canada Cup. So I just thought that would be something that would be interesting. I think it's
Yeah, so why don't you list the Canadian teams?
so the Canadian teams that would be, that again would have to be sorted through would be Thunder Bay, Taipei, Maryhill, Alberta, Renfrew, North Bay, Hamilton, Sonoma, San Diego, Caledonia, K Vegas, and I think Baytown. I mean, that's some really good fucking teams. But again, so we can only have 8 because we're trying to fit it into a 16-team bracket and just have it go from there. I think that could be a lot of
I'll
fun.
rattle off the US team now.
So then the U.S. teams are Tegucigalpa, Pittsburgh, Minnehatrick, Richfield, Rome, Sunnyvale, Audubon, Italy, Hoth, Providence, Dink, Sumter, Highland, Ugandan, and Sugar Valley.
Some strong teams.
Some strong teams. So again, you're still only trying to get the 8 out of that group. So that's where the pool play comes in.
Yeah.
And I feel like in the pool play, we could play Canadian teams and American teams cross play. It's just a way of getting to who makes it to the final 8 of each of the countries.
Yeah.
I don't know how we could pull it all together. I don't know if anybody would be interested, but at least it gives us some kind of pride to play for.
Yeah.
We can root for each other. It gives us a little more oomph instead of just some random fucking stupid tournament that doesn't really mean anything.
I'm going to put you on the spot. Who's your top 8?
To be honest with you, I didn't even go through that, but let me look. So
Right.
let's just go right off the top. If I say Tegucigalpa and Pittsburgh, Minnehatrick, okay,
That's
they're
3.
my locks. They're
That's
my
3.
locks right off the top.
5 more.
So I'll put Hoth.
That's 4.
I'll put Richfield.
That's 5.
I'll put Italy.
6.
I'll put Sunnyvale.
7.
And I'll put, I guess, Audubon.
8. So the Wolf in your thing isn't even making it.
For right now. Mm.
Wow.
For right now. You'd have to battle in. You got to battle in. You might make it. All I'm saying is, off the top of my head, that's the 8 I'm looking at. Because for
And
Canada, go ahead, give your 8. Give your 8.
Well, I would be surprised if I don't make it in the top 8.
But you
At
haven't
this
made the
point.
playoffs in 4 seasons.
Oh, come on. 89. I appointed you.
It doesn't matter that you outpointed me. You didn't make the playoffs.
How
But
would
for
you
my
like to
top
suck
eight,
my balls?
This is tough. Because when Klein was listing these teams, I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking, yes. He's not wrong.
No, it's tough. It's definitely tough.
I mean, to me, definitely the 2 pit guys. Definitely Segathon, that's 3. This is where it gets, I mean,
It's not easy.
I guess Richfield, 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, I'll throw in Hoff. That's
Okay.
5. Did I say you already?
No.
I didn't say you.
No.
I'll say Sunnyvale 6.
Acknowledge me!
I'll say Wolf 7. And Audubon 8.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
So Italy doesn't make it. Providence doesn't make it. Ugandan doesn't.
Okay. And the thing is that's if everybody even wanted to play. Because we also don't want this to be something that gets stuck in the mud. So we really want people that want to play. So maybe we
true.
don't even get. Maybe we don't even have to do the pool play because maybe we only get 8 guys that actually want to play. But if we have more than 8 for each side, then we should do some kind of way to figure that out. But again, so if anybody's interested, I don't know. I think they're all turning into the series now, right? Everybody's turning
Richfield
into
will let us down.
Richfield. Let us down.
Segathon said that. Richfield will let us down. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's a great idea. I think that could be fun.
I'm just trying to give us something to play for. You know what I mean?
And oh, the series started.
Yeah, McGillney already scored.
But yeah, I think so. Segathon started against Caden, so do a live looking.
Yeah. No, not Segathon versus Caden.
Sorry,
Ticklepuss.
Ticklepuss,
So Tegusi Galpa
Yeah.
is playing Hoth,
and it's 1-1.
and it's one. No, you got 1-1. Okay,
Yeah.
so mine. I'm
Hey,
behind.
Ginla just taught it. You can turn yours off. Yeah,
Thanks, Dick.
get on the big screen.
You can turn yours off. Okay.
Yeah, let's. It should be fun though. So
Yeah.
yeah. So you want to bring up anything else? Bring up questions from anybody?
No, did you go through that? Did anybody have any questions through that? Anything that they were in there? You want me to scroll
Segathon
through?
is saying that the Wolf is top 5.
Everybody's just too nice. That's the problem. Everyone wants to be
No, I
nice to
think
you.
Segathon, he understands talent.
Oh, call in, you fuckers. Chris wants to call in.
Chris wants to call in. My host is amazing.
I don't even want to have to try to pull that off right now, but
Actually, how would that work?
I'd have to zoom him.
Oh,
We'd have to just pull the
did
zoom.
you send
Hang
it to
on.
him?
I just said, just, what are you talking about?
Oh.
He's not
Yeah.
serious.
Yeah, so
Now,
just,
so they just scored again.
if there's nothing that anyone else wants to bring up, we're going to probably...
I think we're good.
We're good. This was a pre-playoff Wolf and Klein podcast. Shooting the shit. We're gonna watch
Tegucigalpa is rolling.
We're going to watch some hockey here. Great to see you guys. We will
Yeah, we'll see you on the
see you
30th.
next time on the 30th. This is the Wolf and Klein podcast, episode 8, season 2. We're
Yeah.
out.
Later, guys.